Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on in, people. Come on in. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday. Come on. Happy Wednesday to you. Let's go ahead and tag, share, and invite people. You know what to do. If you don't see our sisters on yet, you know what to do. Go ahead and invite them to come on. We're going to have a wonderful time today. I'm really excited, and I hope, like I said earlier, that your day has already been pleasant. And guess what? If it hasn't, it's going to be before you leave this show today. Okay, so let's go ahead and tag, share, and invite, and remember to hit that love button as well. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes to do that. Once you come in as well, let's go ahead and speak to each other. Let's go ahead and speak to each other as we come in. So I'm really excited about what's going to happen here today. So let's do this. Happy Wednesday to you. Let's go ahead and tag, share, and invite. I'm going to invite some people as well. Sometimes you just got to give them a kicker and a reminder because, we get busy throughout the day. And before we know it, it's time. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. Yes, come on in. As you come in, please speak. As you come in, please speak. Come on, so I will know that you're on here. Yes, let's do this thing. Mhm. Hello, as you're coming in. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, come on in here. Good afternoon, Megan Key L. Y'all come on in. Let's tag, share, and invite. Welcome somebody today to Wisdom Wednesday. Can y'all believe it? It's already Wednesday. Let's see here. Oh, let's do this. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through some of our announcements or just let you know what's going on with Lyft. Okay. Come on in, guys. Come on in here. Yes. I don't know if I can see the comments on here. Let's see. Let me just do it like this. Y'all know I like to see y'all comments. Come on in here. Come on in this room. Where y'all at? Come on in here. Come on in. Come on in. Yes. Okay, great. Hey, there you go. Hey, Miss Karen. Y'all know I like to speak. Y'all know I'm trying to get used to this new stuff here. Okay. Come on in here. Hello, Miss Karen. Hello, Miss Keidra. Come on in. Hey, Miss Tammy. Y'all go ahead and share and tag. Come on, speak to your sisters as you come in here. Yes. There we go. Let's do that. Come on in. Come on in. Yes. Like I said, I hope this week has been a pleasant week for you guys. Okay. Hey, Queen. How are you? Hey, Miss Michelle. Come on in here. Come on, YouTube. Y'all come on through here. Come on. We're going to have a good one today. I'm really excited about my guest that's going to be coming on in a few minutes. But while we're waiting for some other people to come on, listen, I'm gonna go ahead through our communities and through what's going on with the live. Somebody say, what's going on with the live? First of all, I want to thank you for this morning with Get Up with the Live. We had our Wednesday morning prayer at 6 o'clock this morning, and it was awesome. So thank you guys for getting on. Continue to push that, because guess what? We can't make it without prayer, okay? Prayer is the key. All right. So make sure, I don't care what kind of goals you have, what's going on, prayer is the key. All right. So we want to make sure that we get on that get up with the lift. Okay. And after that, on what is it, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, we have our Wake Up with Lift. That's our morning motivation that we have Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, I'm with you Tuesday. Megan comes, shoots around on Thursday. And let me tell you something, you don't want to miss tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be, but I mean, crazy. All right, we have a guest that's going to be on with us tomorrow. Look, we just wanted to give you something a little different this week, just to give you some excitement. This week. So be on tomorrow, okay? And Friday, you guys know what Friday is. Friday is Free Friday. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but we create a dialogue basically and just let you go for it, okay? So we have Free Fridays on that. And then today is Wisdom Wednesday. Somebody say, what is Wisdom Wednesday? It's just where we come together and we drop a few pearls, okay? We drop what we call pearl nuggets. We just drop a few pearl tips, okay? And I want you to continue to invite people to that, because it's really good. How many of you know we need wisdom, okay? We have to have wisdom to make it through here. All right, so we talk about a few things. We just drop a few of our wisdom tips on Wednesdays at 12. Always remember, I almost got caught up myself. It's at 12 o'clock, okay? 12 o'clock with our Wisdom Wednesdays, okay? Just pearl of wisdom. This a piece of advice. That's all we're doing. We're just dropping some advice down. And how many of you know that we have like what we call pearl wisdom that we gain from, okay? And so it's just whatever we gain through our experiences. That's basically what we're talking about, okay? So don't forget to join us. Tonight is our book club. Did I say that? Tonight is our book club night, 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. Come on. You can't ever say there's nothing to do, okay? We got plenty for you to do. So we're going to ask for you to join us if you can with our book. I think it's The Discipline of a Woman, or however. I'm telling you, this book has taken us over. If you can continue to join us with that, I think we're almost done. I just can't wait to see what we're going to do next. Okay, we don't know what we have coming next. Okay, so just remember that what we got. Wake up with Lift at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wisdom Wednesday on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Our book club tonight at 7:30 on every Wednesday. Okay, and get up with Lift with our prayer is on every Wednesday as well. Okay, so we have all of those communities that are open to you. They are open to you. So we hope that you will join one of those communities, and we pray that these communities are helping you. Okay, so listen, let me ask you a question. Feeling worn out? Okay, just need a break, need to just regroup. Guess what? March the 17th. Oh my God. I think it's the 17th through the 18th. Oh my God. We have a women's retreat that's going to be held in Lake Charles, y'all, by the way of Suffolk, Louisiana. I'm telling you, we are so excited about this retreat that's going to happen in Lake Charles by the way of Suffolk, okay? And it's just a little few minutes outside of Lake Charles. So for all of my Lake Charles, listen, my Lift sisters in Lake Charles, you guys are phenomenal. You guys are doing the thing, okay? So we're going to have our East Coast is going to join us. We're going to come from Humble and Houston, Texas. Some of us may be coming from the Virginia area. We are so excited because we're going to be on your territory. We're getting ready to tear Louisiana up, okay? We saw how we did it in Greensboro, North Carolina. Now we're getting ready to take flight to Louisiana, okay? Lake Charles. Suffer, okay, Louisiana. So get ready. I'm telling you, I pray that you believe me. Listen, you have to go ahead and register now. All right, listen, the space is for real limited, okay? You know me, I just want to have a little something. Everything turns into a conference. I try, but that's just the way I roll. So I'm telling you, if you want to be refreshed and you want to be rejuvenated, it's going to be in March. So you'll be in your first quarter of, still doing what you need to do, so you'll be able to regain some energy before you jump all the way in for 2023. Okay, so we got some great things planned for you. Okay, hey Nene, glad you joined us today. Hey D, I'm glad you could get on today. Yes, y'all come on in here. Come on in here. Tag, share, and invite because today is going to be a great, 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 great day. All right. Listen, what I want you to know is that guess what? I'm always praying for you. All right. Always remember that you are always on my mind. And if you're on my mind, God knows you're on the mind of God. Okay. Guess what? I said this morning, I'm going to say this again. God is concerned about what you are concerned about. Okay. So just know that He has your back. All right. Because some of us feel lost and whatever else, but just know that God has your back. Listen, I'm not gonna stay on long. Y'all bear with me. I got a little cough going on. I'm cool. Just got a little sore throat. So, I might have to throw Megan up on here to finish this out if my throat is, acting up on me a little bit. But I'm telling you, God has been good to us. Live sisters, I'm telling you, you are amazing. You are simply amazing. And I thank you for all that you do, all of your support and how we support each other. So you are simply amazing. Listen, I have a very close friend on here today. No, do we talk to each other every day? No. All right, do we see each other all the time? No. But guess what? We are still close. Okay, we still have created a sisterhood with each other. Okay, that was never forfeited. Okay, and that's another thing that you got to make sure of, that when you create a sisterhood, keep that sisterhood clean. Okay, keep the energy good in there. Hey Tanya, keep it good in there. But today we have, I'm gonna say, we have the CEO of Pretty Is. We have the hair stylist. I call her the master hairstylist. Okay. And we also have a beautiful wife that's on here today. We have a beautiful mother that's going to be on here today of two beautiful children. And I thank God for her sharing her life with us. We can see how her life pretty much goes. And also, she and her husband owns a funeral home together. So they're doing some great things and we're excited. She's going to come on today and share a few things. It's nothing like having true friends. And I consider my friend Mattea Hill Hunter, a close friend of mine and a great friend. Okay. What is a great friend? Come on in here. Come on, I'm gonna still talk about you a little bit here. Listen, I call a great friend, Mattea, is when we can pick up right where we left off.
Hmm.
Okay, we
Absolutely.
can pick up right where we left off, and we've always been true to each other. So I'm happy to have you on. I always count it a privilege. I always have to have you on at least 6 months at a time. Okay, I'll recycle back. There's some people that you just need to hear from, that has great insight. And today we're just chit chatting as sisters. We come to, first of all, where are you? You think I can't, where are you? You look wonderful. You look great. I'm talking about weight wise. You look
Thank
awesome,
you.
awesome. Okay, so
Thank
I just wanted
you.
you to know that too. We've been watching your journey, and it has been phenomenal for us watching and very encouraging.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so you look great, Mattea, and thank you again for joining us. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to talk, like I said, to just chit chat. Y'all know me, when I talk to my friends, we can't stay on one little subject, okay? We sort of just hit around. So, ladies, I want you to dig in today. If you have, excuse me, if you have any questions, you are able to ask those questions. You're able to dive in. We're going to do a few Q&A if we can get to them, okay? So I'm very excited about you being here today. Okay. And so, what I wanted to talk about a little bit, I wanted to talk about self care today. I wanted to
Hmm.
dive into a little bit of self care, but I want to take it back to this. First of all, we know that the holidays are fastly approaching. Believe it or
Hmm.
not, we're getting ready to we come out of Halloween, okay, as my daughter called it, Happy Hallelujah Night. We came out of that, right, still saying it, okay. Um, and we are coming fastly approaching our Thanksgiving. Okay.
Hmm.
Then turning around December, we're gonna fastly approach Christmas. We can't even, I told my husband the other day, come on, get my tree down. He was like, well, babe, we ain't even figured out what we're doing for Thanksgiving. But I said, everything is fastly approaching us. So December's there.
Hmm.
Then we turn around, we're getting ready to embark upon what? A new year. Okay,
Hmm.
2023 is right around the corner. Okay, so my thing is, if you ain't got it done, baby, keep on trucking until you make it. Just let it spill on over, okay, into 2023. But I said all of that to say, I noticed that with the holidays, we have different types of memory
Hmm.
that remind us of Christmas, that remind us of Thanksgiving, that remind us of the new year coming in. Some are good memories, some are not good memories. And
Hmm.
I noticed with sisters, and not just with sisters, probably men too, but we, Mattea, tend to be very emotional at this time,
Hmm.
because of something maybe we lost or something that may be different from the
Hmm.
last year. Be like I said, a loss of loved one, a relationship, kids may be
Hmm.
going to college, can't get back, or military. You know how it goes,
Yeah.
And then some of us are happy. We got a new life, different
Hmm.
things. But I say memories takes us in so many different areas of our life. Sometimes we don't know how to handle those things that come upon us. So some of us can go into a funk, or we can go into like, oh my God, I just can't believe this is happening, or we hate when new things arrive, or the holidays come up, because we sometimes capture those sad moments, but for some
Hmm.
of us, we capture family, wanting to be around family, and want to see what we're going to do for the year coming up or whatever. But we began to embark upon a whole lot of new things, a lot of emotions come up, so I want us as sisters. I want us as sisters, and I'm gonna throw this out, and then me and you will truck on along. I want us as sisters, and you can dive in on this if you have any ideas as well. But I
Okay.
want us as sisters to make sure that we are uh talking to each other, that
Hmm.
we are conversating, that we, maybe check on a friend that
Hmm.
may have be going through some things. You understand? Even we just had a loss, with one of our friends. And I checked on her
Hmm.
the other day, and she was just like, "T, this one is hard. It's just
Hmm.
hard, and I was like, we're here for you, we're praying for you." take your time with it. It's fresh, whatever it is, but it'll never be, because they was a
Mhm.
close knit family. But
Right.
I want us as sisters, to make sure that we're not insensitive to
Mhm.
people that's going through that, and see what is it that we can do to help. What is it that we can do, to make them comfortable. And with you being in the business that you're in, and I didn't even think of that. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure you guys, have to do some things or whatever to comfort that person or whatever. So I just want us, I don't care if you text somebody, and say, hey, just
Mhm.
thinking of you. It may not be, they may not want you to, take them out to eat. They may not
Right.
want that, but they might want you to just, say, hey, just thinking of you. You may
Mhm.
send them an affirmation or something like that, via text or whatever that you may send them. But just make sure that we are not insensitive to what's going on around us, because holidays can take a turn if you let
Mhm.
them. Okay.
Right.
And then be there to help pull someone out. You
Mhm.
being there, your pleasant smile, or just a when we get
Mhm.
together, I don't care
Right.
what it is, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna joke, we're gonna be like crying and laughing at the same time.
All of
Okay.
it.
So if you want to dive in right there, if you
Yeah,
have
sure.
any type of suggestions that we can, come together on.
Yeah, first of all, hello everybody. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to share this platform with my friend and my sister.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the invitation. But a few things, of course, was going through my mind as you were sharing, and this is such a great topic to talk about exactly what you're saying because the holidays are approaching. One thing that we often share with people who are grieving and who are going experiencing just a loss, right? Is that number one, that grief is not an event, it's a
Mm.
journey. And
Yes.
on a journey, there are ebb and flows. And
Yes.
so that's one thing that a lot of times people feel like when I experience a loss, and it's not just always just a loss of a loved one, like what you shared. It may be that you were in a relationship last year and
Yeah.
booed up, and this year you
That's
not.
right.
Maybe it was,
Right.
I mean, it grief looks different. Maybe you were in your dream job last year, and
Yeah.
this year things are a lot more lean, and you may
Hmm.
not be able to buy or be able to do what you did in the past. Like everything's everything is not about a person transitioning. Sometimes we actually have to acknowledge the fact that we are grieving situations or experiences that we had and really be
Absolutely.
allowing ourselves to really feel those emotions. I think oftentimes, especially in our community, it's very easy for us to say, "Oh, you're gonna be all right. God got you. Oh,
Yeah.
you just keep praying. God, just keep believing." And those things are true, but it
Yeah.
doesn't negate the fact that God actually, and God gave me this revelation a very long time ago, not very long time, but a while back. That number one, I gave you emotions.
Come on. Come on.
And so many times we try to suppress what we consider a negative emotion, whether it's
Right.
sadness, whether it's anger, whether it's fear, whether it's regret, all of those things, they don't have to have a negative connotation associated with them. It would
Hmm.
be an insane, crazy person to think that somebody's going to be on a high and be happy and excited every day of their life. That is not
Right.
normal. And we would be wanting to admit them into a mental institution, right?
Right.
So, one thing that one of my friends, she always shares with me and she always says is, Mattea, those emotions that we deem negative or have a negative connotation behind them, I often see them like an Airbnb. At an
Hmm.
Airbnb, you don't stay for a long period of time. You're just
Now,
there to visit and to
come
move on.
on.
So when we
That's
go
good.
through these experiences in life, and you may be sad because you lost a loved one, or you may be sad because your job is not what it is, or what you wanted it to be, or your child, or whatever. It's okay to feel that sadness, but it's
Right.
not okay. Where there becomes a problem is when you stay there.
Now.
That's when depression comes in. That's when the anxiety comes in. That's when all of the emotional overload comes, and then when you can no longer function day-to-day operation, that's where we have a
Right.
problem. And
Right.
so really acknowledging the fact that, you know what, I am sad today. I am sad. But what can I do to change my perspective on that area that may be sensitive? So
Right.
one thing that I like to share, just say you experience the loss of a loved one. So instead of sitting at home or just going to maybe a grave site or whatever, maybe thinking about what was it that you and that person enjoyed doing. Maybe it was a paint
Mm,
night. So
that's
instead of me
good.
being sad about a paint night, what I'm going to do is gather my friends together and we're going to do a paint night in honor of my
Oh,
sister
that's
who
good.
died from breast cancer, right? Or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. And now I've turned that negative thought into something positive. So now it's not just about me having a fun experience, but now it's also trickled into now I'm giving back. You see
Yes.
what I'm saying? So then
Yes.
it switches that emotion and changes that emotion and changes my perspective on how my future is going to look and how I engage with grief. It is
Yes.
up to me to determine how I want to partner with grief. That's
Yes. Oh,
my
that's good.
choice. And when we make a conscious choice to say, I may visit you, I'm going to partner with you, but this is not going to disable my life. I will
Mm,
not
mm.
allow grief to paralyze me. You
Yeah.
won't have that much control because then you get into grief becoming a stronghold,
Come
and
on.
then you can't function. So now what you tap dance with is I can no longer fulfill the call of God on my life because I've allowed grief to control me. And nobody has that much power over me
Come
but the Holy
on.
Spirit.
Come
So we're
on.
not giving anybody. So you have to be able to be, it's a very fine line that we sometimes tap dance with because yes, I acknowledge that, but no, I will not allow it to control me or paralyze me. And
That's
that's why I also say that community is so important. So when
yes,
I
it is.
see Miss Kim not coming to lift, when I see Jane not showing up, my trigger, my spirit is saying what you just said. Let me send a quick text. Let me
Yes.
send a little flower in the mail. Let me just
Yes.
let you know a little ring on the phone. All of those things are free, right? And they don't
That's
take that much time. And something as simple as I'm thinking about you, I'm praying for you, you're on my heart, you're on
that's
my
good.
mind. Those things, you don't understand how powerful they
Yes.
are. And something as simple as that can trigger an emotion to pull somebody out of the depths of their darkness. And so never minimize those what we call, thoughts, or I thought about it, I had an inkling, or something told me to. I have come to a place now where I've become so sensitive to that. Something told me to. I thought about.
Yeah.
Because especially when we think about the state and the emotional and mental state of so many people right now, it is so important for us to be in tune because how we engage with them could truly be the day that they thought that this was going to be their last day.
Come on. That's
And I
right.
want to make sure that even if I'm wrong and maybe it wasn't God or maybe it wasn't the Holy Spirit,
Right.
inclining me to do it, even if it was just my own thoughts, I still want people to know that they're cared about. Because when people
Yes.
feel that they're cared about, then it gives them a reason to keep going.
That's
That's
right. That is
powerful.
so true. That is so true.
You know what I mean? And so I think that we have to really change our perspective on how we engage with one another and really leaning into our community. And that I feel like is really important, especially as we approach the holidays. And one thing that I will also share is that what I've also learned to do, and I'm continuously doing for my own self, is I set boundaries, not just with
Mm.
people, but even with my emotions, right?
Oh,
I
come
set
on.
boundaries. I don't allow my emotions to overtake me. There are times that they will. This morning I was actually working out and I was saying to the Lord because just dealing with some things, personally, because we
Oh
all go through, right?
yeah. Yeah.
And as I'm walking, I hear the Spirit saying, you know, cast your cares on me before, because I care for you. And as I was saying to that, I said, God, I said, I'm leaning into I need the care, but the casting is
Yeah.
difficult for me right now. And he said to me, you
Ooh.
can't experience the fullness of the care unless you cast. And you can't cast and not get the care. So you want my care, you want it in its full capacity, but you got to let go and release. You got to cast it. And you have to know confidently that even when things don't seem like they're lining up for you and working in the way that you thought that they would, that because you cast those things before God, he
Yeah.
has an obligation to care for you.
Come on. Come
It ain't
on.
something that we just are, it's not like a pie in the sky, like just some quote, some say. No, it's
Right.
what he promised. And so as I begin to lean into that, I'm like, God, even when it's uncomfortable and my faith and my trust is questionable,
Come
I will
on.
lean into the casting so that I can experience the fullness of the care. Because I
Oh,
don't want a little bit of the care. I want the
come
whole
on.
care.
Woo.
I don't want to just walk into a mansion and only experience the kitchen. I want to experience the kitchen and the hot tub and
Yes.
the foyer and the great room and the outside and the scenery. I need that full experience.
Thank
But
you,
it's not
Jesus.
until I unlock and do my casting that I can experience the fullness of care. He never will not give me my care because that's just what he promised. But I
Absolutely.
need all of it. And I don't want to be the one holding it back.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. That's the
So,
truth. And that's really good. And I that came on my mind yesterday actually. Everybody feels different, and even me. And I love what you're saying, because even me not being able to always get home, like I want to get home. It
mm-hmm.
is, but even travel, it
Yes.
is what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And although you put up for a rainy day, something else come for that rainy day that you thought, you feel me? And I'm like, oh Lord, so all of that sits on you or whatever. And just like you were saying about, he says, cast your cares, and you were saying, Lord, about all of that. Same thing. That I, in my thought and in my prayer time, devotional time this morning, because we all, like you say, we all go through our own personal issues and our own
Mm-hmm.
personal battles, silent battles, if we may
Mm-hmm.
say, with ourselves. And the same thing. And I began to listen to one of the lady pastors that I normally don't listen to. And she began to minister or whatever. And it was just like it was right to me. And it was
Mm-hmm.
talking about basically feeling cheated,
Mm.
feel like you've been cheated by God. And a lot of us don't want to say that,
Mm-hmm.
but I put it in these words. You've done all that you're supposed to do, and I'm turning this because we're going to go somewhere else with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it still goes with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but you're trying to live holy, you're trying to live right, you're trying to do all that God has called you to do. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you still feel like you're not where you should be, or like you're
Mm-hmm.
looked over, or however.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, you're not cheated. I've just chose you because I knew that you could get through this. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh my, I mean, I just fell back on the bed like, oh God, no, I chose you for such a time as this. So
Mm-hmm.
stop looking at this and stop looking at that. I need you to stay where you are. You cannot get what we call a miracle cure,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get you to another place, but you have to go through what you're going through, because
Yeah.
in that going through, I'm strengthening you. Oh my
Absolutely.
God, I'm strengthening you. I'm strengthening you. I'm giving you that power. So now
Mm-hmm.
that power has to be, it just need a little bit more fuse to it. You understand? If you put
Mm-hmm.
something, like a plug in the socket or whatever, and sometimes like it may come out, it give you be like, and then it fall out and you lose power. And that's what some of us, we just need to plug all the way in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at that and I was like, oh Lord, just when I think I'm getting ready to, oh, here I go and all this kind of stuff. He was like, no, you was chosen for this and you got to
Right.
go through this is exactly how I set this up. And I'm like, oh Lord. I said, but it feels like, it's just like in slow motion. Okay, God, come on, But he says you have to go through this, and he
Mm-hmm.
said, because I chose you to do it, you know. And so, whatever, many are called, few are chosen. I'm just glad to
Mm-hmm.
be a chosen one. And he knew I would
Right.
be obedient to his will. So I got to keep
Mm-hmm.
it trucking. So, with that being said, that's good. So, I'm telling you, sisters, go back. If anybody knows anyone, or you just, even yourself, you know what I'm saying? Try to stay strong within this time frame. And like Mattea said earlier, make boundaries, not just for people around, make boundaries for your emotions. I love that. Make boundaries for your emotions. So with that being said, I did read something that you put, and I think it was something dealing with pause,
Mm-hmm.
pausing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to channel that because it's going to go with what we're talking about,
Okay.
understanding, and this is going to go into our self-care even the more. I dug in there and I was like, oh man, that's good. Take some time out to regroup for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit more, about us as women, us as sisters,
Mm-hmm.
taking that time for ourselves. Yeah, we take the time to put the makeup on. We take the time to do this. And sometimes we don't have time to do that. We
Mm-hmm.
just go. But I wanted to get a few pointers, and I want to talk about that, what you just said. I think you made that post either today or was it
Yeah,
today or
probably. Yeah,
yesterday?
but like Monday, maybe Monday.
Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to talk about that. What brought you to that?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that a little bit, and how we need
Sure.
to take time for ourselves.
Yes. So I think that, well, not I think. So that post came from, I have a life coach, and
Mhm.
it's so funny. He is to give some context, he is a middle-aged Caucasian guy,
Mhm.
and he is like very, hi, Mattia, we're going to meet today. I mean, like songs, but I always tell him, I'm like, you just are like, the Holy Spirit, like you so comforting. Like his voice is like, what are we talking about? Like, and of course, anybody who knows me knows that I'm like, and another thing, let me tell you what happened.
Yes.
And so he's always like, you're so funny, Mattia. Oh my gosh. So it's like we just like two totally different. But anyway, I had a session with him and it was like at 11 a.m. But by the time I met with him, I had, of course, gotten up. I had gone for a walk. I had taken my kids to school. I mean, like, it was one of those things. So by the time, so when we open up, he always like, how things going? How was your morning? Yada, yada. So I was running through all these things. And then he said, before we get started, do you mind if I invite a pause in? And I said, okay, what's that? He said, we're going to just take maybe about 10 to 20 seconds. Just pause.
Mm, mm, mm.
We're going to think. We're going to catch our breath. We're going to regroup. Because I don't want us to start this session with you in a frenzy. I need you to
Ooh.
be in a space that you can receive. So let's pause.
Ooh.
And we took some deep breaths, blew it out, deep breaths, blew it out. And we went on with our session. And even in those 10 to 20 seconds, it gave me an opportunity, number one, to sort my thoughts out, to gather myself, and to prepare myself for what I was getting ready to do, which was my next. So the post that I posted about was there's power in pause, and there's power in the pause. And so many times in life, we're constantly going, we're moving, we're picking up the kids, and we got to get off the work. Then we got to do that. So we never even give ourselves an opportunity to pause. And
Mm.
we often sit in a space where we're like, God, I can't hear you. You're not speaking. You're not telling me what, because you're constantly all over the place. But if you would just sit in the pause and allow him to even refresh you, it's not even about him just speaking clearly to you or can I hear, but it's about getting my mind, my spirit and my soul right to do whatever I need to do next. And as I gathered that pause and thought about the pause, I also thought about how I could use that even with my kids. Like sometimes it's like they ask me 50 questions. Mom, can we do this? Da, da, da. And it's like, you know what? I need 10 seconds. And they'll start counting down 10, 9, and I'm thinking to myself, thank you, Jesus. And in that time, it's giving me a minute to be like, okay, now I'm good. Okay, what were you asking me? What was it that we were getting ready to do? Give yourself permission, the time to pause.
That's good.
Because there's power in that. I am very guarded when it comes to my schedule. I don't commit to a lot of things anymore. If it is not aligned with my purpose and it is not aligned with an immediate need for my family or my work, it's a no. It doesn't mean that I can't do it. It just means that it ain't in alignment. And oftentimes we overcommit ourselves, and then you wonder why you're stressed out. You wonder why you can't get your thoughts together. You can't sleep at night because you got too much stuff going on in your head.
Wow.
Start weeding things out that no longer serve you.
My God.
We often hold on to things that no longer serve us because of the gratification that we get from it.
Come on. Come on.
But it may be the season to move on, even if it's a good thing. Sometimes it just doesn't serve you anymore. And even when it comes down to my kids, I want my babies to be involved in everything. I want them to be fantastic and superb at everything. But I had to sit down with my daughter and number one, have a conversation with her and said, you're not getting ready to be in 50 different activities. I cannot commit to that. It's a no. And I don't feel any type of way about it. You know why? Because my mental state is important. Your level of commitment is important. And I also want to teach you that it's not okay to overcommit yourself. You need to be committed to things that you know that you have a true desire and passion for. Don't just be signing up for stuff just because it's okay and that's what your friends are doing. We're not doing that. Does it line up with what you desire? If it doesn't, it's a hard no. It ain't even nothing to talk about.
There's nothing to talk about.
Maybe we could do and think like that. You're not getting ready to run me all over America, all over the whole city, and then think we about to do it. It's a no.
God, that's good.
And when we do that, we regain control over our schedule, over our life, and then we have opportunities to pause.
Good God.
And to think and to regroup and to get things back in line. That's why you're out of line. Because you don't give yourself a minute to pause.
Ladies. Ooh! Ladies. Come on. I'm looking at them. Ooh, Tia, that's good. I'm looking at them. We are saying, somebody said, I need a pause. Somebody said, it's a no. Yes. Somebody said, it's a hard no.
Right, it's a hard no.
Yes, we must take a pause. I thought that was so great. And I thought about myself as well. I was like, you know what? I don't think I've had many, I think I've gotten over that. I think I'm good. Because I said, hey, I ain't gonna be able to do that. I ain't gonna be able to go. I think Megan has gotten it. She'll tell me no in a heart. Not today. We're not doing that. My rest day is today. That's what it is. And I'm like, what? She don't care where we're going. I'm like, well, the family, we decided we was going. No, I'm like, y'all go ahead. I catch y'all.
Right.
And you have to do that.
You do.
So I think that's good. Nope. Somebody said nope, and nope. Right. So we have to do that, y'all. We have to we have to gain that. And that's gaining respect for yourself. That's what I call it. You know. So, and it's hard, because that's how we used to do. Mama, I won't go over there. We got, mama dragging and you going to be picking us up at 10. And then Mama going to pick us up. No.
All of that. All of that. And then you think about it but Teresa, also, you have to be able to think about when you put things in perspective, then you think, I done took you from A, B, C, D, E, E. So then you know what the next thing means, that I'm also going through somebody's drive-through. So it's a trickle effect. So not only am I spending unnecessarily money, you got me spending money on all this excess gas. Now you eating unhealthy. Like it's all of that. You know what I mean? And so I often have to remind myself of that. And because I mean, I don't get it right all the time. I do it too. You know what I mean? So it's not like, oh, I got this perfected. I don't. It's a work in
No.
progress. And
Right.
I give myself permission to experience the grace of God
That's
and the
it.
grace of making errors and making mistakes. But what my intention is to commit to only what I can commit to, and to make sure that I include my pause,
That's
whatever
it.
that looks like. You know what I mean? Sometimes when it's, before you pick up your kids from school or pick them up from the after school program or whatever the case may be, taking that 10 minutes, you're supposed to pick them up at 6. You get there at 5:45, sit in your car, think, take some deep breaths, get your mind right, as opposed to I'm running from work to run over here and then get them. And then by the time you pick them up, you yanking them out. Come on, let's go. I'm ready to go. We got to go home. You doing all this. It be too much. It's way
Too
too much. It's
much.
like, I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes just to gather my thoughts. And then once I do that, then I'm going to go inside. You know what I'm
That's
saying? And so
good.
it helps even with my interactions with other people, whether it's my client, whether it's my spouse, whether it's my kids, my family member, whatever, and in that pause, I also, one thing that he says a lot, my life coach always says, which I love, and I'm learning, is he'll say, I'll ask him a question, and he'll say, that's a great question.
Hmm.
He never feels the need to respond immediately.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Ooh.
Let me, and then he'll say, let me ponder on that.
That's good, man.
And we allow ourselves to experience unnecessary haste.
Mm.
Everything doesn't need a response. It's unnecessary.
Mm.
And it doesn't necessarily need an immediate response. So
God.
oftentimes, even with my husband, it's like, okay, we want to do this, we want to do this. It's like, okay, give me a minute. Can I circle back next week? Can I circle back tomorrow? Let me kind of get some things together mentally and let me think it through. And then I'm going to respond to you. Because we often get frustrated too, because we feel like we have to always immediately respond.
Mm.
You're not obligated to do that. And I don't know who told us that. Unless the house is on fire, there's no need to, unless it's an emergency, there's no need for you to immediately respond. Sometimes you need to pause. You know what? That's a great question. And in my head, I'm thinking, you probably saying that because you don't know what to say, Paul. You know what I'm saying? And because somebody asked, I'm like, so what you think
Hey,
about da-da-da-da-da? He's like, that's a great question, Mattea. You know what? Let me ponder on that one.
but you know what?
Exactly. Slow that thing down, all the
But,
way down.
but you know what, Mattea? And that's okay too. When you don't know what to say.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because you're like, hey, let me get back with you with that. Cause I right now I don't know how to respond to that. Let me think on that.
Yes.
And that
Right.
there again, that's another thing that we just make up some. Some people you find them just like, stop. You didn't.
Stop.
Just stop.
Just
It's
stop.
okay if you've never
Right.
experienced that. If you never went through that, okay, it's okay. Let's just
Right.
pause. Or if you're not ready to talk about that,
Right.
come on. So
Right.
that's good. I think that's
It
real good.
and
One more thing.
the
Go ahead.
go ahead. I know I was gonna say, and the thing I think sometimes we when you were talking about self-care, right? When we think about self-care, we think about taking ourselves to the spa, go getting our nails done, and all those
Right,
things can definitely mean self-care.
right.
Self-care also looks like a pause.
Yes,
Self-care also looks like putting boundaries
that's right.
around my emotion.
That's right. That's
Self-care
good.
also looks like I don't have to immediately give you an answer. I've
Exactly.
given myself permission, that whether you gave me permission or not, I ain't gotta do that. But I've given myself permission to respond when I feel like I've been able to think through how I want to respond and if I want to respond. Because
That's
some stuff I
it.
may not even need to. That's self-care. When I've
Right.
chosen to put
That's
my health
good. That is
first,
so good.
that's self-care. When I've chosen, like for me, like you were,
That's
I'm
it.
on this journey to, of course, live a healthier lifestyle. It's not like about, oh, I need to lose 50 pounds. It's not that. But what I needed was I needed space to be with myself, to think through my thoughts, to be able to regroup and have a space where I could cry out, I could laugh out loud, I could think about what my next move is going to look like. I needed that, and I needed to be in a space uninterrupted. So that's how I started just
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
walk. Just a quick 20, 30-minute walk. I need to just be able to go out there, cry, spit, scream, whatever. You know what I mean? I just needed that. And that just turned into, okay, well, if I'm walking, that don't make sense for me to go through McDonald's, give me a cheeseburger. So maybe I should stop doing that. You know what I mean? So it kind of like evolved into that. It
Right.
really was, it wasn't even about, it was, I want to regain my life back. I want to be able to engage with my children in an active way that I don't have any limits on that.
That's
I want to
good.
be able to go on vacation with my friends and be in a cute bathing suit and a sarong and not feel no type of way. I want to be able
Right.
to get on an airplane and not have to be like, excuse me, I need a seatbelt extension. I want to be able to get on a roller coaster and not be like, are you over the weight? We're not doing that. We're not doing that no more. I want to live my life to the fullest. And I also want to live a life that pleases God and that I don't have any health restrictions that keeps me from fulfilling all that He has predestined for my life. I will not be a hindrance in that.
Right.
I'm not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is my
Absolutely.
self-care. It is not
That's
how much I can lift. It is not how long I can stay in the gym. It's not me being on a diet. But what it is submitting my life totally to God and His will for my life so that I can be and do all that He has called me to do without restrictions.
that's it. That's it. That is enough, man. That's enough. And ladies, I see you're commenting. Any questions from you ladies? Mattea, that I mean, that's awesome. And it's time for all of us to adopt some things, you know, that we need to adopt. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And stop making the excuses.
Right.
That's a lot of it too.
It is.
Because I'm busy. Because do you have kids? Well, I got two
Right.
children. I got to, it's time. You can have a life. You can have
Mm-hmm.
structure.
Yes.
And I will say, even with my daughter, with Megan, I always use her because I see her with Joe. And
Mm-hmm.
she's a single mother, so
Right.
I see the structure and I see the plans that she create for him, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not all over the place. This day we're doing this. No, you're not gonna make. This is what we're doing here. I mean, already the time this birthday is over. No, this is what we're doing for. It's already. She knows what she has to do in that area. And like I said, that don't mean we're perfect.
Right.
We striving for perfection. We still got some stuff to work on. But
Absolutely.
once you get that part, the boundaries for your life, the boundaries for your emotions, and just to say, hey, this might work for you. It ain't gonna work for me. Even
Mm-hmm.
with your friends, you know what I'm saying? With that journey that you're on, or however. Well, let me just say this: that lifestyle, that
Yeah.
you have adopted,
Mm-hmm.
um, letting them know this is just the deal, man. And sometimes we feel bad about that. Oh, you acting, you ain't who
Mm-hmm.
you sure ain't you
Mm,
know
not.
so there's a lot, and I'm really excited about a few things that's coming up, even in my life, that I want to
Mm-hmm.
adopt. I was talking to my husband about it. He was like, oh man, it's gonna be something around here. I was like, well, get yourself together, because we're gonna live a long time. I'm not planning on dying no time soon. I don't think God has that for me no time soon.
Right.
I choose life. So
Amen.
so let's do that. Let's do that. One more thing, and then I'm gonna let you go. Also, I wanted to throw out any questions, y'all. I've changed you, right? Okay, balance your lifestyle. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. I was just making sure there's ladies, you can ask any questions that you feel free to ask them, okay? I didn't want to miss anybody. But another thing that came on my mind, and I'm gonna close it out with this, was how as women can we
Mhm.
empower other women?
Mm.
I start thinking, and it's easier said,
Mhm.
but how do you empower a person that's doing the same thing that you're doing and not feel, I'm gonna call it all of the additives, jealous,
Mhm.
don't want them to make, want them to hold on, let me pause. She does have a question. Okay, my question is, I'm coming back, y'all, to that. My question is going to back to the grieving process. My father passed away back in 2006, and my mother still have moments of depression at
Mhm.
times. Some always tell her um her time heals.
Mhm.
So,
So, a quote that we often share, my husband shares this a lot with people, is when people say, "Oh, you grieving? Oh, you did you that? You still grieving?" And so he always says that you will never experience grief if you've never experienced love. But because you experience love, you will always experience grief.
wow.
Whether it was love for a person, love for a thing, a situation, whatever. And so that does love doesn't go away. Love never dies. There are
Right.
ebb and flows to that. But I think that it would be important that you could maybe encourage your mom to possibly get into I know it's a national program called Grief Share,
Okay.
and with that, it's like a course that you can take. And what it does, it helps you and guides you through your grieving process. And it doesn't matter if there are people that, come to the group, they may have had a loved one pass 50 years ago and they still crying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they may have had somebody who passed away last week. Because even my
Uh-huh.
own self, I mean, my grandmother and I were like thick as thieves. She passed away when I was in the 10th grade. And there are still moments. I remember having a full breakdown last year, matter of fact, because I was like, oh my gosh, you're not here to help me raise my kids. Because she
Mm.
was that, like, when you think about back in the day when you had the grandmother of the neighborhood, she was that person. So in my head, I just knew that you would be there for me because you've been there for everybody. Like hundreds, thousands of children came through our house because she was the neighborhood babysitter. And so I was like, how could you have not been there? Like, what? Like, I needed what? I got kids myself. And I'm like, and then I find myself like, you are in a full-fledged cry. This lady died when you was like 16, sis. You like 40 plus. Come on now. But one of the therapists that we worked with was like, Mattea, you have to realize that oftentimes when people experience grief, it's not even so much that they're experiencing they're just grieving over the loss of the person. They're grieving over the experiences that that will never happen because that
Mm.
person is no longer here. So that's why you have people who have emotional situations that arise during a birthday, during a holiday. Because it's not so much, because I mean, we know in life, it ain't like we were created or the world was created yesterday. Everybody knows that births and deaths happen. That it's inevitable. I don't care whether you're black, white, rich, poor, creed, whatever, it's gonna happen to all of us. So
That's right.
it's not like it's something we don't know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's more or less just the fact that we are emotional beings. But I think that if it is to a place where you feel like your mother is going a little bit, on to the deeper side of the depression, I definitely would encourage her to get into a grief share program as well as seeking some type of support or therapy. And if she doesn't do that on her
Right.
own, you could probably reach out to um, her physician and talk to her physician about it, because it just may need some, she just may need some people just need more help than others, because I mean,
Right.
especially, yeah, I mean, it just
Absolutely.
is. I mean, and I mean, even with our friend's father who passed away, that was very difficult
Right.
for me, because of course I knew him from the time I
Yeah.
was like literally 18 years old, and I did not have a father figure in my
That's
life.
right.
And he was, I mean, he took us in like I was one of their, Like, so, and it was such a full, it was almost like, I don't want to say full circle because that don't sound right, but it was like a full circle moment because I was like, this man literally fathered me, only for me 20 plus years later to be the one who who takes care of his final disposition.
Oh God.
That was hard. It was gratifying because my husband and I were able to do that for them. But I mean, just before we left to go to do the whole service, I mean, I had a whole moment. Brown's like, "Are you gonna be able to work this service?" I was like, "I need some time. I need a minute." And I had my minute. I got it together. And I still had my moments. But I mean, that in that moment, you know, I had to give myself permission to be that in that space
Yes, absolutely.
because of the love and care that I had for him, and vice versa. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And so, that doesn't go away. And I hadn't seen him probably. I think maybe about a year, so right around your party is when I had
right.
seen them when they came to
That's
Greensboro. You
right.
know what
They
I'm
had a
saying?
birthday next to mine.
Right, exactly. So that was the last time that I had seen him. So it's tough. It is tough. And acknowledging that
Yes.
is tough, but also leaning into the support is better.
Yeah, that's
Don't
right.
grieve by yourself.
Right.
Hmm.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta open up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that's hard sometimes because you don't want to worry people and say, oh, here we
Right.
go again. But
Right.
I'd rather for you to say something, not say nothing at all, because those thoughts
Exactly.
will take you somewhere else.
Right.
So we have to make sure we open up and we have to be there for each other. And that's what I like about Lift. Praying that we could feel that. And we're new at it,
Hmm.
so we don't make every mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't go nowhere that you ain't told us nothing about. Everybody don't discern strong. Oh, we okay. Well, now I feel such and such going
Right.
through, you know, everybody, girl, nah.
No.
So you just caught up, and then in your quiet time or whatever, he may give it to you or however. But I hope
Hmm.
she said thank you for answering that question for her. Anybody else?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna move on. But because I want to get this, and then I gotta close. So I was talking about how can we as ladies
Hmm.
empower each other without um the jealousy,
Hmm.
without you know that thing standing in between us, jealousy,
Hmm.
insecurity, that kind of thing. I think we need to do a little bit more of that. And how do we handle that? um they may be in the same field that you're in,
Hmm.
you know, or they may do the same thing that you do. We all sort of do
Hmm.
some of the same
Yeah.
things. You understand? How do we have that? But I've seen, some people really have a problem with people, or they shy back,
Hmm.
or they be like,
Hmm.
that's a confident, and she do what that kind of thing. How do
Yeah.
we handle that? How do we handle that as ladies? And what are some of the things we can do, not to just put a bad mouth on somebody or say I do it
Hmm.
better or you should, how can we encourage and empower one another as ladies?
One thing that I think that has helped me over the last, I don't know, few years is that, of course, because I'm, by trade, I'm a hairstylist. So, of course, they
Right,
come, I feel like a dime a dozen, right?
right.
But one thing that, one thing that I think helped me, I know it helped me was and I don't want to sound like I'm being deep, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I had to come to the realization that God sent me to earth for purpose, on purpose, to fulfill purpose.
right.
When I realized that, I then no longer felt intimidated by anybody else. Do I feel some type of way? Sometimes I do. I mean, because that's just natural. But at the same time, think about, and I start just thinking, you start thinking sometimes, going back to the pause, right?
Right.
You start thinking about, even when you think about hamburger spots, Wendy's don't care nothing about McDonald's. McDonald's don't care nothing about Freddy's. Freddy's don't care nothing about Burger King. Why? Because there are people who are specifically assigned to you.
That's right.
Period. There are things that are unique about you that one person will be drawn to that somebody else doesn't. there are specific things that you know that God, we just say we both, of course, do speaking engagements, things like that. But at the same time, it don't mean that I can't sit at your feet and receive from you. Because there are things that God will specifically give to you that actually ultimately could bless my life.
Right, right,
So
right,
when
right.
you change your perspective on your interactions with people, I no longer feel intimidated. I actually feel like I can gain strength from you.
Come
So, okay,
on.
I see how you do that. Okay, that doesn't mean that I copy what you do, but what it does mean is why not support you? Because how do I know that as I walk in that humility space,
Ooh,
that God doesn't open up something else for me because I fulfilled a spiritual principle that He had already ordained for us?
mm, mm, mm,
Because
mm.
when you begin to sit with yourself, you begin to allow God to show you who you are. And when you
Ooh,
walk in jealousy, you walk in envy, you walk in strife, then you recognize this is not the way that God wants me to live out my life, period. Those things do not belong to me. And sometimes the way that we were brought up, because sometimes our parents did that to us. They jealous of you. Because I can, they don't like you. You got haters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I can't concern myself with haters. I can't. Because if I concern myself with haters and people who might be doing what I'm doing, I will become stagnant. And at the end of the day, my desire is to get all that God has for me and to impact the lives of others,
come
period.
on. Come
So if
on.
that's the case, no matter what I put my hands to do, it will prosper. I don't care if all of us are doing that. I don't care if I'm at a conference and it's 10 vendors selling 10 all lip glosses. I don't care if we all selling the same thing. Somebody gonna come to my table because they gonna like my outfit. Somebody gonna come to your table because they loved your laugh. Somebody gonna go to Jane's table because they love her setup. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is drawn to something different, and really acknowledging that we all have something different to bring to the table. And when
That's
you
so good.
recognize that, and it's enough for all of us to really survive and eat. And when I had to, because at some point, I mean, we share very similar stories. Like,
Yes.
you're doing so much stuff, and you're like, but I feel like it should be more. Like, why is it not more? And so one of my friends said to me, she said, but Mattea, what if God actually called you to this group of people? So you okay with not fulfilling your assignment because you desire to be like this? That means more to you?
Good.
Maybe you were only called to 5 people. Maybe you were only called to 20 people. But if it was a calling for you to nurture, develop, and cultivate this 20 people, at the end of the day, the promise is still the same.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
So although it's packaged differently, it doesn't mean that his promise for our lives won't be fulfilled. You still gonna live abundantly. You're gonna still have more than enough. You still gonna have protection and peace. But when you take on envy, strife, jealousy, and all those things, you block and hinder experiencing those aspects of who God wants to be in your life. And I
My
ain't got
God.
time for that. That's on all
Oh,
Mary and her lambs.
oh
But that does take, it takes maturity, it takes confidence, and it's a daily, I ain't gonna lie, it's not like I'm in this space because I just arrived here. I didn't. It's a constant recognition, it's a constant everyday speaking over my life. It's a
my God.
constant, God, you sent me to this space, so you bring the people to me. I, even in my hair business, I say all the time, God, you anointed my hands. I didn't do this on my own. You
Yes.
gave me the gift. So if
Yes.
you gave me the gift, it is your obligation to take care of me through the gift that you gave me. I
Yes.
don't know what that's going to look like. I don't even know how it's going to be packaged. But a sidebar, when you walking in something that you ain't supposed to be doing, you're going to always feel intimidated and jealous and envious of others. Maybe you walking in the wrong lane. But when you really walk in your lane,
Come on.
then you can
That's
have that
good.
serious conversation with the Father and be like, hey, you gave me this. So
What's
you gave
up?
me this. I need you. I'm just stewarding what you gave me. And in return, I desire for you to fulfill my needs and give me the desires of my heart. What does that look
Ooh,
like for me? Show it to me. Bring it in, and I receive it. Because
that's
when you
good.
walk in your space, in that space, your hands are open, your arms are lifted, and you can receive. When you don't walk in that space, your hands are closed, your eyes are clenched, your body is tight because you walk in envy, strife, and jealousy. So you can't receive. But when you like this, it's a position of surrender. That
That's
I've
right.
surrendered my gifts, my talents, my anointing, my calling to you, oh God.
Glory to
Use it how
God.
you please and give me all that you desire for me because I've been committed to
Glory
serving
to
you
God.
with what you gave me.
That's good. That's so good. Oh my God, that's awesome. Staying in your own lane and
Mhm.
understanding and surrendering that gift back to him and knowing that you're
Mhm.
just the vessel that he's using, you know,
Yeah,
and that you're assigned to who you're assigned to,
yeah.
you know. So I'm pulling out all of these gems, all of these nuggets out of that. Yes, because some of us, just believe it or not, and that's why some of us are stuck. We
Yes.
can't go to the, he can't trust you to even,
Mhm.
and when I say empower, just to say, in a heartbeat, I'm be like, God, T, when you do a, hairstyle or do something, golly, or makeup, my favorite was your makeup and stuff like, I'd be like, good God, we were able to, you know, get with one another and
Mhm.
say, lift you in that area,
Mhm.
and I think we as women need to do a little bit more and mean it.
And mean it. That
Not
part.
turn around the corner to my butt. I could have. No, we didn't. No,
Mhm.
you know. And so I think that that's a lot of times why we are held up in so many different areas in our life because of that. So I wanted to throw that out. You got
Okay,
something?
I have to say this really quick, and then because I know we got to go. Okay, so this is the thing that some of you, of course, Teresa and I have been friends for a number of years, like a whole lot of years. So at one point in my life, I was a makeup artist, and I worked at a makeup counter. I was a manager, da 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 da. And so they were looking for more people, and I could have easily been like, "Oh, just go through the applicants." No, I'm bringing my people with me.
Yes. Ooh.
But let me tell you how divine that was. Because
Mm.
I could have been, I feel God. I could
I
have
do
been
too. I'm
like,
about to go up. I'm trying to hold it.
right. Because I could have been like, I ain't doing that. She my friend. We live in the same city. What if she come on this team and she could be better than me? God knew that she was getting ready to move out of Greensboro and she would need a connection. So what ended up happening, this is how God works. This y'all be holding up your own blessing. I'm the
Mm.
manager. I bring my friend with me. She makes a connection with the regional manager. She moves out of the state of North Carolina to move to Texas, only to look up one day and who was her person she was looking at. The lady who was the regional manager in North Carolina had
Glory
moved to
to
her area
God.
in Texas,
I'm
and
about to
she
go in.
immediately had favor.
I ain't gonna
It
be
was
able to do it.
what if I would have held on to that? It wasn't even about, it was never about me. That's what we have to
Good
realize. It's
God
never
Almighty.
about you. That was a divine
When I
I,
tell you that was a divine setup,
that was
and
a divine
and
setup.
for some of you, oh God, I'm about to go in. And for some of you that didn't know what was going on, they was giving me hell on that job. They was trying to find every reason to get rid of me due to somebody wanting my position. Oh my God. Somebody want, I was good at what I did. She was proud of me. The lady that did it, somebody else came back on the scene that was going through, and she was trying to push me out the way to give the lady the position. So they was doing all kinds of stuff to make me look bad. But so the setup was, when this regional manager came in, this was supposed to be, Lord God, my end day. Y'all ain't ready. That's supposed to be my end day. But let me tell you how God works. And that's what I'm telling y'all. Serving God is the key, man. I'm telling you, being in the right place, being in the right position, being in the right posture at that time. I thank God for it. Because when she walked into that building, And she looked at me. I said, Susan? She was like, hold up, hold up. She was like, hold up. This girl stayed at my house
Right.
in Raleigh.
Right.
Okay? Listen, when she walked in, that, like I said, this was with my end day. She turned around and said, let me tell you the first thing she said. Have y'all heard her pray? Y'all ain't ready. Y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want it. Y'all cussing on the job and all this kind of stuff. They what are they gonna say about you when they show up? Come on, I'm telling you. Yeah, uh-huh. And she said, have you heard her pray? They looked at each other and was like, oh my God.
You
From
know
then
her?
on, it was a setup. They could not do anything. So they started coming after her. I'm gonna tell you how that devil is. But it didn't work. It didn't work. And them same people had to turn around. I was promoted, everything. Okay. But just like you said, going back to that divine setup,
Mm-hmm.
we had no idea. But
No
because
idea.
you followed it, good God Almighty, because you followed what God had showed you and gave me a chance at belts, I'll never forget it. As a skincare professional, I was like, okay, oh, I was just getting out of school. I mean, everything. I'm like, oh Lord. And look at what God did.
Right.
It was all a setup. And I didn't come here to Texas to do that.
Right.
But when things failed, I was able to fall. God had it all planned
Oh,
out.
that part.
I'm telling you today, I'm telling y'all, trust God. Be true to who you are. Be true to God. I'm telling you. Listen, be real. Okay? And don't be afraid to help somebody on their journey.
Right.
Okay? I'm ready, Tim. Okay, yes. I'm telling you, it's a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup. It's a complete setup. I'm
Yep.
telling you. I'm telling you. So we as ladies, y'all, and I just had, and I don't mind taking out the time. I just want you to know going into this start now.
Yeah.
Start now. Make a decision. That's a decision that you have to make. There's a choice that you
Mm-hmm.
have to make. You have to make a choice to change.
Yep.
Yeah, can't nobody do it for you. I can tell you about it. I can admonish you to do, but can't nobody do it but you. So all of this, I'm telling you, get where you need to be, get in the right posture, and make sure you stay connected to the true vine. And y'all know what
Mm-hmm.
who the true vine is. That's Jesus. Stay connected, man. I'm telling you, so everything will fall in line. You know, even when it get out of line, it goes back to where just stay connected. No matter what, you may fall off, but get back on. Stay connected. I'm telling you, you just don't know what God has in store for you. Yes, nothing but God, Miss Zeno. Nothing but God, Queen. I'm telling you. Any more questions? Because we get ready to end this. But you got anything else? That took me off. I'm about to get out of here and go crazy. Baby. Because that
Yeah.
just ended it all up. So, ladies, don't be afraid to empower each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't be jealous of one another. You know, you have what you have. I have what I have. You know, we all got something different to bring to the table. Okay, so do you, and don't be afraid to push somebody else where they need to go. There's a blessing in it. Trust me, there's a blessing in it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's a blessing in it. Anybody else? Okay. I pray that you guys have enjoyed this today. Look, it was good for me. If it wasn't good for y'all. And I really thank you, Tia. Every time I call, if you have an open space, you've always said yes. So I'm glad that I'm on your to-do list. That you did say yes. It was important because our ladies needed this today.
Yes.
And I know we talked about three different things, but listen, y'all, go back and Send this out to someone. Share this with someone today. Okay, because
Mhm.
like we said, the holidays is coming up, different things we're going through. Share this with someone today. Okay, share this with someone today. Okay, I love you guys. We're getting ready to go. We will be back tonight. All right, love you so much, Mattea. We'll be back tonight at 7:30, okay, for our book club. Okay. So I'm just excited about what God is doing. Don't miss it tonight. I'm telling you, don't miss tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow at all. Megan Kiel will be on tomorrow, and we will have another special guest that's going to be coming on. And I'm telling y'all, I cannot wait. We're going to get some more information. Okay, it's going to be another morning inspiration. Okay, motivation, inspiration on tomorrow. So listen, go once the flyer is up. Please go and share the flyer. Let's come in, let's pile in, and let's show our guests. We thank Miss Mattea for coming on today. Okay. Thank you for all the information that she shared with us. We love you dearly, and we consider her one of our list sisters. Okay. So we just thank you. Thank you so much. If you want to sow a seed, you're more than welcome to sow a seed to our Cash App. It's up on the screen. So, because we want to be a blessing to somebody else. It's not about just blessing us. We want to be a blessing to someone else. Okay. All right. I thank you. I got to get up out of here, but it was well worth going out. Okay. Love you and see you on tonight. God bless.